Hey, it's a beautiful day. And on that note, Chloe would be laughing at me right now because I totally botched the way my tripod is currently working, but that's okay. It has been a while, and on that note, a few things. I'm listening to music right now, I'm reading some jot notes off my phone, I'm in my vibe, and that's entirely why I want to be sharing this with you right now anyways. So on that note, a few things. I know I look different, or maybe I look familiar, because I definitely recognize myself now. However, the way I choose to express myself brings no limitations or exceptions to the way I identify. I am still non-binary, I am still queer, and I still use they them pronouns regardless of what I've previously worn, what I wear now, and what I have hidden or flaunted in the past. It's no secret that I was harassed for the way I presented myself in the past, and I use that word because the term bully seems to now be overlooked. I didn't actually feel affected personally by what many people reacted towards me with. However, I am guilty for allowing this bullying to turn towards myself. I felt some sort of obligation to look or act a certain way based off of how I told the public view how I felt, or continued to do what I felt I needed to do to be seen because I was under the impression it was making me happy or was what I had to do. I don't think the stigma and stereotypes within the LGBTQ community is recognized enough, and I've always been someone who fits outside of the boxes in most scenarios. So this video is going to be a little bit about that, and I'm going to start a new clip on that note. Ooh. This past year significantly has taught me a lot. I think one of the biggest things is growth. Oh, that word. How many times have you heard that word? A lot, right? I know, but listen. And I think how advice from others is a big factor on that. And while not always something that has to be used to take charge, I believe the impact is the biggest thing because of the consideration. I think it's great to get the opinion of others. I think it's really important to recognize that what I say this somewhere. Hold on. Hold on. We'll get to that later. I'm not afraid to state the fact that I lost myself. To some, that may seem very obvious. It wasn't even obvious to me when I was on the better side of in it until I actually discovered what good felt like. Hold on. I'm like an emotional here. But being lost means you can actually be found. And while I'm not here stating that everything is perfect in my life, I found the importance of listening to myself. Through my struggles in my teenage years, specifically, which are very nearly coming to a conclusion, I have ever so gratefully received lots of advice from many people. This is something I try to give others in moments of despair as well. And while I stand by that, I stand taller in the fact that we are different. What works for one certain person to improve one certain aspect of their life isn't necessarily the same thing that works for someone else's something else. And this fact used to scare me slightly in terms of speaking instead of seeing this as inspiration. My hopes for this video isn't necessarily to make you agree with my view of the world. This isn't even for you. It's for me, because this is something I enjoy. And I think that just because I state something that's helped me doesn't mean it's going to help all or anyone watching this. However, I truly think, and I really hope that anyone who saw me prior to this, regardless of how well they knew me, could see that I was struggling. Anyone who sees me now can see the difference in my being. I'm sorry, I'm shaking a little bit. And the smallest things matter. So if all I do is inspire someone somehow, and that pushes them toward being real and valuing their own feelings and opinions first, well, that means the world to me. We'll start a new one here. In July, on the 1st of July, I saw a post from them on Instagram talking about Wrath Month and how the prompt for the month was one of them, and I started writing a spoken word piece that I would like to share in this video. And it took a lot for me to come to terms with it's something I wanted to share with, and originally I didn't think I was going to send an intro for it. I was very, very nervous for the way that many people were going to perceive me. And another big thing that I've been working on this year is perception. And the way that you perceive the world is very much going to be the way that you perceive the world. And the way someone else perceives the world is very much going to be the way that they perceive the world. And there's never going to be a way that any two people's perception is going to fully align, because every person has lived a different lifetime one way or another. No one knows everyone's full story. Heck, we don't really even remember our own. When do we start remembering our memories? Do you remember everything from when you were a baby? I think so. A lot of our life is a story, and a lot of us forget to enjoy that sometimes. And you don't have to resonate with what I'm saying, and that's okay. That's okay. This is for myself and anyone it may speak to. I'm very, very grateful for a lot of ways people have helped me. I don't think I really recognized how much help that really was in the moment. I know that I was very much not okay in moments when I was trying to convince myself that it was. And I'm very sorry to anyone I scared in that process. And anyone that I hurt. Because I don't always see the way I was hurting people while I was hurting, and that is no excuse for the way I treated certain individuals out there. And this became very real very fast. Had to pick a little more upbeat song there. But I'm trying to stay on a really serious topic, so bear with me, please. Oh, don't lose the headphone. Okay. I'm not going to be the person that sits here and goes, everything happens for a reason, because there are things in life that nobody should ever have to go through. However, and I really don't want to be the person that's be like, there's good in everything. Because no, there's not good in everything. But quite literally, everything in our life somehow, one way or another, affects the next thing that impacts our life. Our life is filled with decisions, well, whether you realize it or not, like down to the little things of if you take a breath before you speak or respond to someone else. Like, everything is impactful whether you know it or not. It's never too late. I'm trying so hard not to be like basic inspirational. I'm just a little bit anxious right now. You can probably tell that I'm doing this in a public space, and that's very much not like me, but I'm trying my best here because I'm trying to be really real here, and I'm not trying to I like put that as my private Instagram like bio. It's like, you're real, stay that way. Back in like November, December of like 2021, and suddenly be real is a thing that I found out about when I like came back home in like March. I was like, what is this? What in the... Anyways, I got so distracted. There's certain advice that I really understand where people... no, I don't need to explain myself. I don't need to explain myself. And you don't need to explain yourself either. At the end of the day, take into consideration of what everyone says to you, because whether or not you agree with them or do what they told you, you see their point of view a little bit more, and that brings us closer together as humanity, like as a society, as a whole group, as people who should, you know, be peaceful. And then I like lose my whole thought again. This is what healing looks like. That's kind of what I'm getting at. I think that's kind of what I was trying to get at. You need to be real with yourself. You need to accept the ups. You need to accept the downs. I am just recording this as I'm recording this. I am listening to music, like I said. I was reading notes off of my phone for what I wrote, for what I said. Like, it wasn't me in the moment, but it's truly what I wanted to say. So I just recorded me saying what I wanted to say. and I'd really like to turn this place into a place where I kind of do that. So this is my little intro to like my new kind of revamp of the channel. Oh my god, who is this? Who is this? I'm back. I'm back. Sorry. So bear with me as I kind of fixate through what I want to keep up on certain profiles or whatnot. But I really want to start speaking. I really want to sharing my art more, and my art fluctuates sometimes. It's a little different, but so am I, so we're gonna have fun with that. So in this video, I haven't recorded the one I'm gonna upload to this one specifically yet, unless I just post the one of me sitting down and kind of reading it, but I haven't yet to decide, so we'll see. This is gonna be so much longer than I intended it to be. And I have to go home and make dinner and like get ready for bed and everything because I work tomorrow. So, on that note, I kind of hope I said everything. I'm still non-binary. My name is Sarah. My pronouns are they, them. I don't look the way I used to look when I used to talk about these things, but that's still who I am. Respect that. Respect me. I'm back. Because apparently it never occurred to me the other day to just switch the sides that the camera and I were on. But it's okay. We're being real, remember? I'm finding a vibe. No, don't tell me my battery's low. Don't tell me my battery's low. That's a lie. That's a lie. We're gonna record. Or do we stay out of it? I'm gonna try to go through more notes, and then if my camera dies, we do this again tomorrow. He'd rather not have this debate. I remind you that he is not Secretary of State. This might be a problem. Hamilton is the reward. Okay. I often felt like some recommendations that were told to me that I didn't actually fit with, or things people didn't like about me, I felt the need to continue to do as almost an if to prove them wrong. And ultimately, I proved myself wrong. But from that, I proved myself wrong in ever seeing the doubt within myself. Because at the end of the day, I was able to understand how I was feeling. Behind someone else's opinion is their mindset. The path their brain took to get there built off their entire path. Your own opinion is built off these factors of your own. And while these paths don't align, you can see the so-called good behind the bad pit of things. You don't have to agree with everything with a person in order to be able to treat them with the simple love we are able to share as people. Because even if you don't see eye to eye with someone, you can take the courtesy to look at them eye to eye and listen. Understanding someone is the most beautiful thing. And I truly think, I believe, that is why literature is such an important thing. The way you speak means everything. In the following piece, I have included my own closed captioning so you are able to see my mindset and importance visually, as the way I write holds power to what I feel to say. Hi friends, the headphones came out for this one. Before you continue, this is your trigger warning. This piece is inspired by the previously mentioned post. Sexual assault is a big theme in this, as is a negative mindset on self-image. Though I always bring an outbringing to the depth I can take my pieces. However, my art is meant for interpretation, as is literature. Please continue at your own risk. You can't even see me! Okay. I think one of the biggest impacts you can have on writing is by using the words I am, and I am one of them. Them standing for several sections written in the world. I am stating statements I fear to feel are true, and these words are vulnerable, so be kind as I share these sounds with you. I'm aware that I am writing this on July 4th, that 3 days ago I was also sure not to wear red. This makes me one of them, one of those people on our planet that does not see all the celebration. I do not see why we heighten our love for selfish governments that are anything but pure and ever better these nations. I am angry at how the world is turning.
I am one of them whose eyes are burning, watching the stars and their eyes are yearning. I am one of them, they, out of order but never astray. I am queer and I believe we develop every day. I am somehow not shocked that some souls manage to do this backwards. I am telling you here and now just how bad my soul hurts. And I hope you see this is because that I am one of them. I am a teenager who grew up without a proper sex education in school, one of the youth used too young because of some object being blue. I am built beyond the binary and battle oppression from it, one that uses they them pronouns and that's avoidably admitted. I am more than pounds of human mass, I am matter, and that's why everyone matters. One of them that's over numbers, I am one that doesn't obsess over appearance, I focus more on what one believes in, because I am one of them. One of these, you see, because I find myself thinking of the teens fearing their 20th birthday cake, in case the surviving teen pregnancy joke is made, the teens that laugh it off at the party but later just think of bare titties and how no one else really knows what came because he came. I am one of them. And my stomach sinks for the children who grew up seeing their relatives at every family gathering. The relatives that would look at them and normalize the flattering. How as older years approached rapidly, roars of freedom were already happening. Desperate for escape from the stairs, worry was somehow bearing. I am one of them. And to all of those who left home for the first time to brace the world alone, who are not native in a nation and weren't searching to bone, to people who feared but never could have known, only able to get comfort through phones, feeling that this body is their clone since you were gone, nowhere feels like home. I am one of them. One of the youth that has slept days await an award, fighting a life's purpose that's supposed to be specifically yours from some lord. There's always darkness around when bored, persisting past the present shit, moving forward and fit to get out of it. I am one of them, along with the females who could not open the thought of pregnancy, who close windows of opportunity, women with bruised knees from hitting the floor a day late for menstruating, but not fazed by the markings because there's a scar staying near from his nails and bedding. I am one of them. And all these things are only parts of me because I can't see through every being and understand every oppression. I am a believer that each opinion or epiphany expands options for evolution. As Lynn wrote about every moment, holding hope for movement. So let's better the world for the kin and find real things that need celebration, like the fact that in this country, rubber communication is a separate sanction. I am narrating a notion, a need for commotion, one who seeks change. Because we changed Roe again, and there's still a road ahead of us. We are passing exit signs of decisions in our existence every day. I was the opposite of living cost, but anything but low, and I felt like a starfish, like those Terry Fox was holding, thrown back into the ocean and drowning, but named after something in the sky that everyone wishes and has visions of successes on. And I am Canadian, so starfish inspired me too. One of them believing that any small person on earth can capably make the biggest difference. I am, you are, we are one of them.
Hey, it's editing sale. Regardless of how much of this you watch, I am thankful for you. And regardless of how much of my journey you stick around for, I am thankful for you. And regardless of how you choose to spend the rest of the duration of the day that you are watching this, I hope you take a minute to breathe, think of yourself, appreciate yourself, and find something that you appreciated today. If you liked this video, make sure you like, subscribe, all that fun YouTuber stuff. I had to say that for old time's sake, but seriously, it would mean a lot if you interacted. And I think that's about it for me. Have a beautiful day. This is what I'm thinking, okay? I'm headed toward this bench that says love on it. Very cute. And when I was here the other day, it was, and I'm not just gonna call it Orange Shirt Day, so let me post something here. And I saw children sitting on it in orange shirts, and I thought it was very cute. And I wish I was able to like take a very proper picture, but I cannot. But I'm thinking the lighting works here, so that's my story time. Thank you. We're doing this, and we're hoping that my camera doesn't die on me. So let's relax, let's get comfortable. I should have done this the whole time. I'm not refilming everything and my camera's may die, but we're gonna hope it doesn't. Oh, now I have to find it. Oh my God, the stress. We'll say I'll find it and get through the spoken word in time. We will find out on today's episode of Name My YouTube Channel, Sunny Sailing. I'm British now. Yeehaw. All right. It's literally all fun and games until you break your camera. That's good. That's how we're starting. I'm back.